Live.
I got to hear
Where's
Jackie
Jackie go?
Gendron say
Not validated until Jackie said it.
Muted.
Oh my goodness. Jackie, how anticlimactic. Oh, okay.
Friday.
We are
Got a
here,
mic
everybody.
muted.
We are live. Welcome to, what is this? Friday, May 29th, Daily Success Call. John Lavenia, the host with the most, in case you didn't know it. Now you do. Good to see you all. It is Fun Friday. Get excited. Dog shows, jokes,
Hey.
you name it. We're going to
Hey.
have fun. In fact, let's see who's here. I see my brother Julian. Good to see
Hey, how
you.
you doing?
Hey, there's William, Ego, Stephen, Graham. Welcome, Graham. Good to see you. There's Lori and Tom, Mark over in the UK. Jenny, you know what? I think I know more people in England now than I know in the United States, and I actually live in the United States. Right? Hey, Lucy, good to see you. Snook09. There's Snook. How's it going there? Hey, all right.
I should change my name.
Welcome. Glad you're here. Well, whatever you write in your Zoom identity is what I'm going to call you. So
Okay, that's fine.
choose well. Choose well. All right, guys, we're going to go ahead and get this show on the road. I've got a couple brief things right now to just let you know about, and one is that you guys were just talking about before we got on and went live here on the live stream, is that there have been some major updates to the Navigator, to the Blue Sky course material, and for good reason. As you guys know, this is a pretty vast body of knowledge. There's a lot to learn, and of course, you're learning from the best. If you want to learn how to do, Amazon profitably, right? You pick the right teacher. But adding stuff, and here and there, like piecemeal, which happens as things, are constantly changing on the internet, can cause a bit of, random, grab bag of basket of goodies. So they have streamlined, and as you guys are discovering, the 2020 modules, right? So very nice. And I hear that that's creating a lot of order, which is what we like. All success is orderly. I've got to remember that, right? Success is not random. Success is orderly. And I know from hearing a few of you talk before we went live, there's the tendency to get overwhelmed and confused, and that's not what you signed up for, obviously, right? So we want to, like Julian was saying just before we went live, you want to go, take bite-sized chunks, right? You're going to get to the top of the mountain. That's fine. It's not, a one flying leap, right? It's actually a gradient that you're climbing up. So there's that. And then the other thing, what was the other thing? There was something else, and I can't remember what it was. It must not have been important. We're going to go ahead and open the microphones here for anyone who wants to come out and entertain us with either a dog show or a joke. It's Fun Friday. So let's have at least one joke today, and if we can have more than one, that's fine too. I don't have my daughter with me here right now, but otherwise she would have one for you. I don't know if
I'll do a joke.
Oh my, hold on a second. Oh, look at that dog, Maria.
Oh
Maria,
my
make some
God,
noise.
that's the cutest dog ever. This is Dexter. He gets to come with me to work every day at my business.
Nice.
So he's kind of the greeter.
Wow.
Everybody loves him. So every time they walk in, my regulars, they're like, "Oh, where's Dexter? Here he is."
That's right. He is the master salesman. Look at that.
Yeah.
Well done.
Morning, everybody from Huntington Beach.
Oh.
Thanks, Dexter. Who's this?
This is
Ooh.
Cole, and Cole is a puppy. He just got off of a transport coming up from Arkansas. He was dumped as he was a day old, and he's now for adoption. I am a foster mom.
Oh.
Oh,
he's
So
wow, look at that.
he is one little booger. He's 3 months old, so got
I
a
think I
lot
need to
of.
I'm gonna get out and go back in because it's all broken up.
Oh, okay, we got it. There it is. So, Candy, were you having a sound problem or something? Candy? We good? We good. Okay. So Candy's apparently breaking up. All right. So who's got a joke for us today?
I've got a joke.
Oh, let's do it.
Okay. So I regret rubbing ketchup in my eyes, but that's hindsight.
Oh,
Hindsight.
there you go.
I've got a joke.
Denise, please.
Yes. Why are Irish Amazon sellers so successful?
Irish Amazon sellers. I don't know.
Because their capital's always Dublin.
Oh,
Oh,
good
good
one.
stuff.
Capitals always Dublin.
Yeah, we get it. We get it.
Get it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
We have many Irish here in the community as well. Now you guys know you've got an unfair advantage. That's great. I heard a different Irish joke. No offense to the Irish. This is just a funny joke. Okay. So how many Irishmen does it take to screw in a light bulb?
10.
4. 1 to hold the bulb and 3 to drink until the room spins.
I've got some Harley jokes, but you might not like me for them.
No, come on. Let's do it.
Okay. What does HOG stand for?
Hog. I don't know.
Heavy set old geezers.
Heavy set old geezers. I got one for you. What's the difference between a Harley and a Hoover?
Go on.
A Hoover has the dirt bag on the inside.
Okay. What do you call a Harley that doesn't leak oil?
I don't know.
Empty.
Harleys don't leak oil. That was back in the AMF days. which
Why are
everyone-
Harleys the safest bikes to ride?
Why?
Because they don't go fast enough to hurt you.
Okay.
All right, let's go with the Harley jokes. Okay. I mean,
You'll ignore me from now, won't you? You won't speak to me
all right.
again.
Love
Yeah,
it,
Julian's got
love
some
it.
great machinery over there too. CJ?
I totally love his joke.
Yeah. Good.
Musician. What do you
We're-
call a dog musician?
What do you call a dog musician?
No.
We're losing CJ. Come on, CJ.
Magician. Magician. Magician, can you hear me?
I
Yeah.
got you. What do you call a dog magician?
Abracadabra.
Abacadabra.
Labra. Labra.
Oh,
Labracadabra.
Labra. Okay.
Got it. I got it. Well done. Sorry, we're having audio feed. Trouble.
Okay. John,
Okay,
what,
very
what,
good.
John, what did the fish say when it swam into the wall?
I don't know.
Damn.
Damn. There you go. Damn. Thank
Gotta
you,
think about
guys.
that one.
You got another one for me, Graham? No, we're good.
Yeah, what
Okay.
do you call a fish without any eyes?
Eyeless fish.
A fish.
Push.
Fish. Oh, okay. FSH.
A fish
Good
has
stuff,
got no
guys.
eye in
All right.
it when you spell it.
FSH.
Oh.
without the eye.
If we're going cheese, then
We're all a bit slow
what do
today.
you call a deer with no eyes?
No idea.
Yay!
No idea. All right.
What do you call a deer with no eyes and no legs?
Still no idea.
Ah.
Still no idea.
Why is venison so expensive?
I don't know.
It's really dear.
Really. All right. We're gonna write a whole book of deer jokes here. Thank you guys for brightening everyone's day, mine and everyone else here in this community. That's great. So we had our dog show, we had our Fun Friday jokes, and I got an idea that I just want to leave you with for the weekend before we get on with all the stuff we do in our lives. I know there's a lot of people who right now summer's approaching, and so a lot of times in the online business world, people, they go to the lake, they go to the beach, they get less than focused in the summertime. I don't know if that's been the reality for you guys in the past with other things you've been into, or if this is maybe not your obviously some of you, it's not your first rodeo in terms of online business. But one of the things that I've heard a lot of feedback on from you guys is a book called The Power of Consistency. And that book has apparently had a big impact here in the community. It's just one of the 5 that I recommended you start with, because leaders are readers and all that. And someone who doesn't read is no better off than someone who can't read, right? So let's read some stuff. And that's a good place to start. And I think about when I first started to become successful in the home business and online business and all that, someone had asked me at one point, because I had hit some special, record or broke a record, making a lot of money. And they're like, how did you become the top earner, the top producer? And I said, I think I've just been more consistent than anybody. And I suppose if somebody else was more consistent than me, then, you know, they would be the top earner. But right now it's me, right? And I held on to that for a long time, right? That sort of, not that it's about prestige per se, you know, I mean, I do business to earn money, right? Not to just have accolades and, you know, lapel pins or whatever. I know with some people that's a big deal too, right? Because we like to be acknowledged, we like to be validated. But the trick that has always served me, if there's one thing that I keep coming back to, it's persistence and consistency. A lot of us now that we've got more opportunities opening up to leave our homes, right? Things like that. I know here where I am in Arizona, it's like business as usual, right? Go to the gym, you know, restaurants with social distancing, tables 6 feet apart and all that. Okay. I know in other locations, that's not the case. All right. But there are opportunities now to be less consistent. A lot of us who've been here for the last few weeks, couple months in this case, you've had a bit of a blessing of time and ability to focus, because you know what, that door just closed over there. You're not showing up at the office, even if you wanted to. You probably don't want to, but even if you did want to, you're not showing up at the office. So it was kind of like an enforced focus that you could have, right? And hopefully you haven't spent the last 2 months, you know, watching Netflix or whatever. I know some people do that. A lot of people do that. But now, right, here comes summer. It's 111 degrees here in Phoenix today. You know, people are doing their thing, going to the lake, whatever. It's time to I think be very deliberate about what we're gonna be doing over the next couple of months. So I'm giving this to you as a bit of foresight, because one of the things that I heard before we went live here was, in fact, it was right as I was logging in. It was about 10 minutes before we went live. Someone said, I am struggling with such and such technology, helium-10, whatever, learning all the different data points. Okay. And I am struggling. Oh, I am struggling. So that's a present tense. That's an affirmation right there. That's interesting. Okay. So is that what you want to see when you look in the mirror, right? Is the person who struggles, you're a struggler? Is that what you're identified as? So how does this correlate with being consistent? Here's the thing, my friends. There is a top of the mountain where people aren't struggling. That exists. Okay. You're going to get there. Oh yeah, you are. But how do you get there? You get there through consistency and through keep looking forward. So this isn't an admonition. This is simply a suggestion for you, is that if we keep dragging yesterday into today, hoping to create a better tomorrow, it's like we're crapping all over today. I heard somebody say, like, if you actually had 3 squares on the ground, right? Here's yesterday, today, tomorrow. You got 1 leg in yesterday, 1 leg in tomorrow. You're crapping all over today, right? So there's a bit of a visual for you there in case you like such things. And that's not what we're here to do, right? We're here to make progress. Now you can go a whole lot faster if you're looking through, because I'm thinking now about Julian's joke about the Harleys not going. Okay. Harleys go pretty good too, by the way. Julie and I are both bikers. So, but we look through the windscreen or the windshield of our car. We're not obsessed with the rear view mirrors. Those exist. They have their uses. Okay. But the vast majority of our view is forward. That's where we're going. Okay. So we want to look at where we're going consistently. So just like our consistent actions get up the mountain, consistency of thought. Here's the trick. The thoughts and the emotions lead to the actions that we take. So if we truly are here and we're knowing that we're going somewhere with all this, okay, yes, I struggled. That's past tense. That's what I just said. I have struggled, right? I don't own that right now. That was 5 minutes ago. And I could do it like what Julian was saying before we went live. Again, giving Julian a lot of love here today. Here's the bite-sized chunks, right? So here's the body of knowledge. Okay. And here's this one concept that for some reason, I'm not getting past. You know what? Anytime that you feel like weighed down, crushed under the weight of all these ideas and this theory, right? It's because you're either on like too steep of a gradient, like you're trying to bite off too much at a time, okay? Or you just plain don't understand the words, right? Like you feel yourself getting tired and like, I don't even want to study this anymore. Go find the words that you missed. The number one cause of inaction and inability is misunderstood words. Don't assume anything. And especially here in the online marketing world, where there's a lot of, acronyms and things that are, like they call it like helium-10, for example. Helium-10, what is helium? That's an element. I believe it's number 1 on the chart. Is that right? So helium, it's a gas. It's lighter than air. You fill balloons with it. You suck it down. And you go, you make noises, right? Kids like it. The balloons fly away. Oh, I dropped my balloon. It flew away, right? So that's helium, right? What does that have to do with making money online? Okay, go ahead and mute Ed's microphone there. Okay, so right. I mean, somebody could just think that we're actually talking about helium. That may sound ridiculous. Okay, of course, we're not talking about the gas known as helium, the element. Okay, of course not. But think of it like a child, like discovering the world. Right, here's a child entering this world, and they're learning about cat. All right, so there's a word called cat, right? And they know that cat is the little fluffy cat that mommy and daddy has. That's a cat. That's a cat. Now, one day they're walking down the street with mom and dad, and they hear a construction worker say, "Hey, bring that big cat over here." And they're looking for Fluffy the cat. I don't see the cat, right? Well, they meant the caterpillar. Oh, you mean a caterpillar? You mean like one of those little wormy things, right? No, right? So, I mean, that may seem like a wild example, but if you think with the child's mind, it's like, don't assume the meaning of anything. Okay, so now I know there's multiple meanings for cat. That's a cat. That's a cat. There's also a caterpillar. That's a caterpillar. That's a caterpillar. Apparently, it's a company that makes big machinery. Okay, great. So now we're defining words and we're eliminating the confusion. Now you can do something with the data. Is this making sense? So now you understand what the trainer was trying to tell you. And this is I will fault a lot of trainers in the online marketing space for just kind of like running people over with jargon. You're not going to get that here so much, but of course that's why I'm also telling you, don't assume anything, right? Because we've been doing this a long time. Sophie's been in the Amazon game for a long time. She knows stuff, and sure, it's easy to just like, in some cases, assume that well, people know what that word means, right? So do your own due diligence and make sure you've got full conceptual understanding of each concept. So now you can apply it. And that's exactly what you want to do. Consistently applying what you learn, sort of like balancing the flows. I just had this conversation with a couple of our new friends who just joined us. Just another Esther. Welcome, Esther. Esther, Jenny, and Jeffrey, we had this conversation. Right? So we want to commingle theory with practical application. Uh-oh, internet connection's unstable. We good? Yeah, we're good. All right. So you want to commingle the inflowing of theory and ideas. Okay, you breaking up, John, says Adrian. Are we live? Are we good? Can I get a nod? Yes, says Mark. Okay. We'll keep on trucking here. Okay, we'll keep on trucking. So here's the theory that I took in, and here's the work, here's the effort that I put out. What does that do for us? That gives us experiential knowledge. Experiential knowledge. It also eliminates the need to be weighed down with unexecuted theory that you don't quite own it. The other thing about getting stuff done, even if it's just test runs, like with Helium-10, for example, you're correctly identifying products that you would never want to invest in. Fantastic. Look how much money and time you saved that you're not going to go and buy that thing. That's awesome. Really well done. But the more you do that, the more transparent the technology becomes. Again, this happens on a constant gradient, consistently using the machinery, touching the dials, right? Just like driving your car. All right. So now we know where we're going. We keep that ever present in our mind. Okay, we understand the words and the tools that we're going to use, and we actually use them, right? So it's kind of like, here's the road, here's the machinery we're driving, and here's the driver. We got to have all three, right? There's got to be a road or a mountain or something, right? A planet. There's got to be a planet to move across. There's got to be a vehicle, right? And there's got to be an operator. And then above all that, there's got to be a reason. Like, why are we doing any of this? So you got the purpose. Hopefully you've got that in the front of your mind. Okay. And then the game is just going to be, how quickly can we get up the mountain? Not cramming, not, a stressful, kind of a thing where now, because you can't even conceive, of getting up the mountain, now we're looking in the rearview mirror thinking, oh, you know what, at least I know that, right? I mean, it sucked, but it's familiar. And so a lot of times people default to, falling back into, the way they've always been is the way they'll always be. And again, I'm maybe getting a little bit down the rabbit hole here today. But what I wanted to leave you with here today to wrap up this whole concept of consistency and how important it is to you, it's consistency of thought and of intent and of action. So we've got, you guys have probably heard the saying, your attitude determines your altitude, right? I mean, that's kind of fun, right? Well, what is attitude? Right. Again, don't assume the meaning of the word, right? What is attitude? You probably all, as children, you were told you need to have a better attitude, or improve your attitude. All right, well, that's nice. What is attitude? If we can go back to childhood, and one of the things I would do is I would ask the parent who was telling me to have a better attitude, or the teacher at school, what is attitude? Define attitude. It'd be interesting to hear their answer. They probably don't have one. Attitude is the culmination of your thoughts, feelings, and actions. That's what your attitude is. Your thoughts, feelings, and actions. Okay. So you got to have all three, right? So thoughts cause feelings, and feelings, emotion, right, causes motion, causes actions. So yes, your attitude does determine your altitude. So what are you thinking about consistently? How does that make you feel? And if it doesn't feel right, then let's find what part of that did we not understand. Whenever you have, when you have a break, an outpoint, confusion, right? There's some part of that you didn't understand, right? Go back and make friends with that data. Okay, that training, that whatever, the helium-10 thing that was confusing or whatever. Do not own that you struggle. No. You struggled before when you didn't understand what they were talking about. Let me go back and figure out what they were talking about. Now I got it. Now it's mine. Look, I just did it. That's mine. All right, thank you. I'm done with that theory. Done. On to the next thing. Now we're going up the mountain. All right. And some people need smaller bite-sized chunks than other people, right? Did you guys ever see, and I'm going to stop talking. Did you guys ever see the world champion hot dog eater? They have actually hot dog eating competitions. And I saw this and I was expecting it to be this like massive, huge, guy or something. No, it was this Asian guy that weighed maybe 100 pounds, right? All skinny. And this guy could eat more hot dogs in I think they give him 3 minutes or whatever. He ate something 68 hot dogs or whatever with bun, hot dog and bun in 2 bites. Boom, 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 boom. And he's a world champion. He trains with gallons of water. He'll drink an entire gallon of water in a minute to expand his stomach and then do it again, right? So he gets this huge stomach. It's disgusting, I know, but why am I telling you this? Some people could take bigger bites than others. This is not necessarily apparent on the surface. Some of you have experience that allows you or predisposes you to take in more of this new training, right? This new body of knowledge faster than other people. There's where I got the hot dog guy example. My goodness, I'm all over the map today. I got to shut my mouth before I start saying stupid stuff in case you don't think I have already. So who would like to come out here and save me? It has been an amazingly busy week. I'm all over the place. Adrian, save me, brother. Save me. Where's Adrian?
Can you hear me?
Yes, there he is.
It's okay. Right. I was watching I joined the conference about 10 minutes early, and I saw Ego. Is it Ego? How you say it?
Ego.
Ego. I saw her point of view saying she was struggling on helium-10. So I was exactly the same. This morning, I went on it and I was concentrating on too much. And as you just said, I must have spent 3 hours on it. I thought, I'm getting nowhere here. So what I did, I went back to Sophie's video, looked how she did it, and then I had a whole list of products I marked up within half an hour to an hour on if it's worth selling, if it's maybe, if not. It's just go back if you're stuck and try again. Go back, look at information, go forward. As a couple of us were saying, small steps. And I'm so proud of myself that I went through so many products now, looking back at the videos, that I'm getting somewhere. They may not be buyers, but you've got the things on there to give you a chance. Say, well, we'll come back to this later. Let's get a bigger list. come back to them later. And then what you see in your database to see what is worth going for, then look the research for it. But at least you've got a list to start off with. And that's what I did this morning.
Beautiful. Thank you, Adrian. I see other people agreeing with that method as well. So yeah, nothing wrong with going back, get the theory again, and then apply it and see how it works for you. Good stuff. Who's next? Come on out.
Joe.
Hey, what's up, Patty?
I'm just, I've had to start back to work, so I've been not been able to get onto this video chat very often. But now I've found we're moving out of lockdown. I'm having to go back to work. I'm concentrating on work all day, and when I get home at night, it's trying to turn my mind off from work and trying to turn my mind on to concentrating on what we're doing here. So much so that I've found I've had to sit down for 1 hour, at least an hour, and just try to do what I do in the morning and just think about nothing at all. And then after an hour, I can sit down and start thinking about what I'm going to do for the rest of the evening. So if I can get onto Helium-10 and just take my time, not try to rush anything, and then just move on slowly and progressively. But like it all takes time, like everybody's saying, it takes time to mentally set your mind up to do it properly. And the amount of times I have to set back and away from the screen just to get my mental thoughts in the right place is second to none. So I'd just say, if anybody's struggling, just step away from the computer and try to think about something else other than, well, try to think about what you want to think about for the rest of the evening instead of trying to struggle. And it just seems to work for me. Plus, I've been reading this, and it's really good. So it's good to. And then, like, when I come back onto this group and listen to everybody, I realise there is a lot of people on here that are having the same sort of problems. Just everybody just needs to be calm and take it easy instead of trying to cram it all. So I just thought I'd let you know what I'm doing.
Well, thank you, Patty, because that corroborates what we were just talking about. Now things are opening up, and you've got more opportunity to be inconsistent, right? Look at all these opportunities to be inconsistent. So yeah, that's where the discipline comes in, guys. You know that I'm a big fan of showing up at the gym every day, and I haven't been because my schedule got all wacky with the COVID thing and everything, and now the gym's open. I've only been there a couple of times. Wrong answer. So I got to reestablish habits now. And even if I just go there for a half hour, right? Because that's something that's important to me. Even a workout, but it's a done. I did it, right? And I get a little bit stronger. I feel like Gumby right now. I feel like, rubber arms. So I got to get in the gym. Yeah. So consistency. Thank you, Patty. See, Christy is here. Hey, Christy.
I can.
Hey.
Hi. Good morning, everyone.
Look at that smile.
I'm the one who said I am struggling. I enjoy being an example of what not to do. I just wanted to say that it is kind of hilarious that I said it too, and I didn't even realize it, because I definitely feel like we cement our thoughts when we say something, or when we read it and we see it in black and white, when we hear it, when we say it and hear it from our own lips. There are so many ways that we make sure that what we're saying is what is true. And I completely just threw myself in that box to stay in that struggling mode by putting it in present tense and saying it out loud. So I'm happy to be the example, because I work on it so much, and I try very hard not to do things like that. And I tell people all the time. I was diagnosed diabetic at 10, and I have kidney failure, and I have vision impairment, and I have all sorts of medical stuff, and I've almost died like 7 times, actually 7. so a multitude of things by the time I'm 40. I got it all over. But I grew up from 10 being diseased or being a diabetic. And I talk to young girls who are newly diagnosed, and I tell them, you are a person with diabetes. I started to hate that I was diabetic. I hated the diabetes. And if I'm a diabetic, I hated myself. And I didn't take care of myself for a while because I hated my diabetes. And if I'm a diabetic, I hate myself. So I try to teach young girls, if somebody tells you that you're diabetic, to say, no, I'm a person who has diabetes. That is not who I am. And I just wanted to say, as much as I was the best example, I'm glad that it's a topic, because it's a huge topic. It is such a huge thing, and you'll never make it anywhere if you continue
to doing what our goals of being successful in our business we're starting.
Anyway,
He knows nothing about selling anything on Amazon.
That was me.
Thank you, Christy. I just muted Edward's phone. By the way, your microphone is kind of crackly. Not sure what happened. You sounded good before the meeting, but now something wacky is going on with your microphone. You guys heard that too. I saw it in the chat. But all right, it could just be the internet connection. But we got the message. Thank you for taking that. I wasn't going to call you out and say, oh, look, here's how you do it wrong. No. Okay. So, right. But I've caught myself so many times. In fact, there's a chapter in my first book about, it's called What Did You Say? Is it the title of the chapter? What did you say? Right? Like actually listen to the inner dialogue, which is revealed in the outer dialogue, right? Oh, I'm struggling with, what, stop right there. Stop. You are present time. That's who you are. Okay, great. So, thank you again, Christy. You are so awesome, and you're glowing, and you're awesome. All right, who is next out here? I had to mute a couple microphones. Will, is that Will?
Hi, how's it going, John?
Good.
How are you? Yeah, John. Yeah, hi. I like actually what Paddy says. You know, it was really encouraging. I'm a bit similar to him. I'm sort of in his sort of situation. I work very hard, full time, and when I get home, it's difficult sometimes to sort of you know, get your mind into things like Helium-10 and Amazon and stuff. But there's something I actually want to share with the group today, which I think is would be inspiring. There's a story in the book of Genesis in the Bible, and it talks about a guy called Isaac, and it says that at that particular time there was a famine in the land. And it goes on to say that whenever that famine was happening, Isaac started digging wells. And it made me think about, you know, what we're going through at the minute. At the minute, there's like a worldwide famine because of this coronavirus. People are losing their jobs. People are short of money. You know, world leaders are talking about recessions and economic downturn. So in a way, we could be going through, you know, a season of famine. But as we're going through that, it seems that what we're actually doing, we're a bit like Isaac. We're digging wells. We're digging wells in this time of famine, and it's a well of Amazon that we're digging. And that story in the Bible goes on to talk about how Isaac struggled and went through hardship as he was digging wells. But at the end, in the same year, it goes on to say, in the same year that he dug the wells, he prospered, and he became wealthy. And I believe that, you know, no matter what struggles and hardships and difficulties that we go through doing this Amazon business, if we keep digging the wells and keep digging the wells and have faith and have belief, I believe that at the end of the road, at the end of the year, we will begin to bear fruit, and we'll begin to see success in our business. And that's just sort of the, I'm not preaching to you. It's not my intention to be preaching to you, but it's just an inspirational word that I wanted to give the group today. Don't give up. Keep digging the well through the struggles, through the hardships. Keep digging the well. And, you know, at the end of it all, we will bear fruit. So that's really all I wanted to say today, John. Thanks.
Thank you. And you've inspired a bunch of people with that, Will. Thank you so much.
Cheers.
Fantastic. Cheers, my friend. I see Therese has her hand up. So does Kathy. So does Susanna. Anybody want to come out?
Yeah, John.
Hey,
Mark,
there's
UK.
Mark. Your
Hey,
name's
John.
not Therese. Hey, Mark.
Well, only on a Sunday.
Yeah.
So, John, I appreciate what the guys are saying about working. UK's back to work now. You know, I run my own haulage business. I have done that for too many years. So, but I find I was struggling. That's the wrong word. I was finding it awkward.
You were struggling. That's the past. That's fine.
Absolutely.
I could say,
Yeah,
I
yeah.
was a loser. I was this. I was okay. Fine. That's not
There you
now.
go.
Yeah.
So I was finding it awkward finding the time, but I'm at the point now where I found a product. I'm speaking to my suppliers and manufacturers, getting quotes. I can't wait to get home now to see what the next email reads. And all I'm doing is looking at a vision board, because no matter if I'm working 25 hours a day, I'm at the top of the mountain, buddy. I'm going to be there. There's things I want out of my life, and that's keeping me going at full speed. And
That's right. And just turn on some good music and hit it hard. So that's right, man. Good to see you, brother. Thank you, Mark. So Mark and I are brothers in metal, or at least in rock or something. So good times. Good to see you. Who else? We have a few people with their hands up. It's Fun Friday. Just come on out like you're on the place.
I came across a quote many
you got a
years.
quote?
Yeah, well, many years ago, and I can't remember whose quote it belongs to, but I had it manufactured into something that I put into my office. But it had major impact on me in another stream, and I'll tell you about that. But the quote was, "Mind your thoughts because they become your words, and your words become your actions." So it's important to talk to ourselves in positive speak. And my example is that I started playing golf, and for a long time I struggled, and the golf course I was on had a lot of creeks and water holes. And this particular day I was playing with a girl who had been professional, and I kept dunking the ball in the water. And she said, "Tell me, what are you seeing when you stand over the ball? Or what are you saying to yourself?" And I said, "Well, I'm seeing the ball go in the water. And what I'm telling myself is, don't hit the ball in the water. Don't hit the ball in the water." And she said, "Okay, what I want you to do is I want you to pick a spot where you want that ball to land. And then I want you to visualize it landing, taking the couple of bounces up to the green and rolling to the pin. And now I want you to change your language and say, I am going to lob the ball onto that patch there, and I will watch it bounce up to the green and roll to the flag." I went from that comment in 3 months from being on a 36 handicap to playing state representative golf. It changed so much for me. Yeah. Yeah. And it's not the achievement of golf, but I was able to apply that to everything that I did.
That's beautiful. Well done. Well done, Sharon. And you know what? I know when somebody has a foul or they missed the shot or whatever it is, the tendency to be like, "Oh, I suck. Oh, that's terrible," right? One of the things I learned from one of my mentors in the world here is that no, what you say is, "I'm better than that." You threw a shot. All right, I'm better than that. That's how you address yourself, right? Here comes my next attempt, and it's going to be way awesome. So thank you, Sharon. Visualizing that. Kathy, you got a thought about this, Kathy?
Yes, I do. Shall I unmute?
You are unmuted. Now you're muted. You were unmuted.
Okay, I think
Now you're.
I
now
hit
you're
it
live.
when
Yeah.
I think we did it at the same time. I'm sorry
Okay.
about that.
No, I didn't touch it. You've been unmuted for a while.
Oh my goodness, I'm that quiet. Oh, anyway, I wanted to comment on your comment about the hot dogs. And
Oh no, I'm sorry I even brought that up. I'm
well,
like,
no,
save me,
no,
save me.
no.
What am I even talking about?
It
here
was
today?
valid and legitimate because we have to consider our own capacities. We have to be able to identify with our own experience as we go forward. And it reminded me of something that Dorothea Brande said in her, wake up and smell the coffee. I mean, it's like, wake up and live is really
Wake
like,
up and live.
but it's serious. We all have handicaps. We all have experiences that determine our capacity. And as we move forward, as we're developing, we're going to hit those ceilings and those limitations and those defaults where, I grew to this level in this capacity, in this experience. And therefore, when I hit this level again, my default is to bail, because that's what I did the last time. And so I think it is wise to keep that inner eye on ourselves, to be aware of, oh, this is where I got off the last time. Or, we may not recognize the form or the experience that, life is giving us in this learning process, but we have to watch our attitudes, our thoughts, our feelings, our actions that are triggering that level and saying, we have to get through this. We have to keep, we have to go back and find that place where we got off the path and get back on. So that was just my contribution. I love Dorothea. She's my new favorite.
Oh, yeah.
Thank you, John. Thank you.
Yeah, that is what a book. Wake Up and Live, Dorothea Brande. First 4 chapters, the most intense introspection I think I've ever had from an author. Is like, you need to take a look at this. So good stuff, guys. Thank you, Kathy. And I see a few hands are up. So we got Therese and Phyllis and Mark and the other Kathy, and who's coming out here? I see Kyoko waving at. Hey, Kyoko.
John, I'll jump in, John.
We got Kyoko trying to talk here, and then we'll go to Mark and Kathy. Okay, go ahead, Kyoko.
Okay, can you hear me?
Yeah, there she is.
Okay, thank you. I was just listening to all that, and then from you too, and it was really interesting that you are collecting somebody's talking, and then you said it was past, so it's okay. You said you are, so it's okay. Sorry, it's always bringing up Japanese thing, but we have a so-called the word coming out of your mouth has a soul.
Mm-hmm.
So I read when I had a health problem. I had a lot of times. I read a lot of books, and all the successful people or religious books or wise man, and everybody was in the same way, positive thinking, positive word, positive attitude. And I found that very millionaires and successful people that they were saying same thing. And I said to myself, okay, it's a same thing, whatever you do to be on top of it, it's going to be always have to be. And then comes about the words. I was struggling last Tuesday when I first saw your Zoom this meeting, and the whole week my hair was like this and struggling. And then right before me, Mark said, "You just let go." And then that word just clicked to me, and I could let go. Sometimes when you read something or when you hear something, especially for me, I think I'm a little bit kinetic. So when I hear something from you or other people, it just click, and then you can let go. And so last night, I was reading this, well, of course, Japanese. Sorry, John, I haven't gotten to your book yet. And I will, but it's just taking a long time. So I was reading this sort of like a wise man type of things and about let go. So You let go and throw the ball. You let go the ball, and the ball is gonna fly over. But that has energy. And then I was really thankful to Mark, how kind he said that. And I'm sorry, I'm not making any sense, but I just love this everybody's talk and quote and your collection of the words, and it's amazing things. I'm learning every minute of it. Thank you.
I'm so glad you're here, and you can bring all the Japanese wisdom you'd like. Japan has definitely created some good product. So yeah, we'll take it. And the longevity of the wise people of Japan and everything. So thank you for that. Mark and Kathy. Mark, come on out here, brother.
Well, one thing I wanted to, since Kyoko brought it up, the just walk away. Brain block is a real thing. And, I'm one of the ADD kids as an adult. So here I am in college struggling with classes and understanding theory, makes perfect sense. And then you get to the test for the class and nothing comes to you. You sit there for 45 minutes in an hour test, nothing comes to you. And you realize that you're not going to get through this. So you take your paper up and give it to the prof and walk away and come back with, go out and read bulletin boards in the hallway and drink a Coke. Come back, sit down, and in 15 minutes, complete every question on that quiz, that test, and get an A on it. Brain block is a real thing. I mean, you got to walk away sometimes. It just, when you sit there for a period of time and you realize you're not grasping what's on the paper or what's in front of you, you just, when you realize that, you just need to stop right then, put it aside, get up, walk away, go read the bulletin boards and get a Coke, pet the cat, whatever, and come back and it'll come to you.
Thank you.
Yeah. Now, there was one other thing. Someone had endorsed Christine Berry's 5 videos. I was kind of stumped on some of this stuff too, and I went to those and went through them, and they are enlightening. One thing you might want to do is watch her clicks on screen as she goes through it. She's a little, you can catch it. She's slow enough that you can watch what she's clicking on, and she'll be, obviously she's in Chrome, and she'll pull the helium-10 extensions and things in. X-ray was the big one she was using, and it will analyze the search, the product or whatever is on the screen right there in front of you. It'll give you inventory. It'll give you even trend lines as it's a declining product. He's declining over time or he's increasing over time. And when you click on those trends, 30, 60, 90, a year, all time, when you click on those, go through all of them, because short-term trends are not representative of your progress over long periods of time. So like he might be declining in a 30-day trend, but 90, maybe he's making progress. And you go to all time, which is everything he's done, the product is done since it's come onto Amazon, that will tell you he's making progress slowly or something. His sales are increasing. But that was one way to analyze that stuff. Now, I don't know how much credit you would give to trend and trend lines in regard to helium-10, but I know in stock investing, it's a huge thing.
Sure.
So
Yeah, well, the market's always changing, and those are good indicators. They're valid indicators. Obviously, the last couple months have been wacky in terms of trends and stuff. But thank you, Mark. Great observations, and a lot of people are getting value from Christine's work because she's been in the trenches. She was one of Sophie's top students, and now, of course, working alongside Sophie with our advanced students. By the way, I'm just looking at the clock. My goodness, I've got a packed calendar today. I'm meeting with a bunch of you in sessions today. So all heck is about to break loose over here. So we're going to take a couple more and then we're going to wrap up. We got Therese and Phyllis and Esther. Phyllis, you got the floor, Phyllis. Go ahead.
So, it's really interesting with everything you've said today. I can totally relate because if I don't start my day with this daily call, my whole day kind of goes hairy-carry and the consistency is out the window. So this is really great for keeping me on track and keeping me motivated and feeling like I'm not alone and I have a team. I pretty much resign myself to the fact that there will be struggles because, as you said before, if this were easy, everyone would be doing it. So we need to stay together as a team, and I appreciate everyone so much being able to hear all the info. And I find that the old adage, slow and steady wins the race. Well, that's what I need to do personally. And I think that that's what we've been echoing today. We'll get there all in our own time, taking our own size bites. And when I struggle, so to speak, I will identify exactly what the issue is, and I'll make a list of what that is and how I'm going to attack it. And once I have a plan, I start to feel so much better. So I can't wait to start having the kind of struggles that Mark is having because I'm not there yet, but those are all the good things. And all of this chatter like this today really helps. So thank you all.
Well, thank you, Phyllis. I'm so glad you're getting value from the sessions. Yeah, we're just having a conversation here, but I'll tell you what, it certainly has an effect. It keeps us on track and all that. So glad you're here. Therese has the floor. Therese, and then Esther, please. Therese.
Hello, can you hear me? Am I?
Yes.
Oh, okay, great. Well, hello, everyone. I just wanted to say thank you for everyone's insight, positivity, and connectedness. I missed out yesterday. Well, I was listening in on the call, but I wasn't on video. And I guess what I wanted to speak to was yesterday I had a car appointment that kind of took my whole day, and I felt really disconnected. At the end of the day, I somehow felt like I hadn't achieved anything, which was interesting. So I was very excited to be on the call this morning. Last night before I went to bed, of course, I read, and I did achieve some things yesterday, obviously, but not what I had, not with the same amplitude that I had been. But I missed it. And I guess that's what I wanted to say. It's now under my skin, and I'm moving forward. I'm anxious. And I just wanted to say thank you to everyone. So good to be here today. Oh, of course, my little motivation every morning is my little flowers. I go out in the garden and pick them, have something.
I'm sorry,
pretty.
hold on, Therese. Someone is sharing their screen. I turned the security off so that people could share their screens.
Oh.
And so somebody just decided to share their screen. Go ahead and show us what you were going to show.
Oh, I just love to go in the garden in the morning and pick different flowers. And that's kind of my little motivation for the morning as I'm working is my little bouquet of flowers. So
wow, that's great.
Growing. I think growing is the personal growth.
Nice.
So I'm just going to leave you with that.
So glad. Thank you so much, Therese. So glad you're here. We're going to take one more and we're going to wrap up. Esther in Ohio. Esther, where's Esther?
Hey guys, I just want to say, first of all, today is on fire somehow, whatever. But I've not been on for the last couple of days, and I've like, you guys are totally my family, and I've missed everyone. So anyways, just wanted to say what a great conversation and motivational speakers everybody today was. It wants me to get back in the game and get my whatever I need to do to get my product online. So thanks everyone for the great motivational speakers.
Thank you. So glad you're here, my friend. Always a pleasure to see you. Hello to your daughter as well. And with that, guys, we're going to go ahead and wrap up. We are going to get back together here next week. So enjoy your weekend. Have fun. Remember, be consistent. Okay, let's plan out what the next week is going to look like. So it's not like, you know, haphazard, who knows what's going to happen. No, we know what's going to happen because we're saying it right now. So, so glad to be here with you all. In the meantime, those of you who I'm in session with today, I will see you in a couple hours. It is all hands on deck. So have a good one, my friends.
Thanks,
Bye.
John.
Good weekend, everybody.
Bye, everyone.